Hi, it's Christy, and we are about to go riding. And we don't have another camera person tonight. But what I wanted to say is that I had a horse a long time ago he was an Arabian. And it was my first horse, and I have always trained other people's horses. And so this is something that I just want to remind people about horses is that when I had this horse, a person asked if he could use my horse and go up into the mountains and go for a ride. And I said, well, and he wasn't a very good rider, to be quite honest with you. And generally, I don't let people, well, anymore, I don't let people that aren't either taking lessons from me or, of course, I let my children ride my horse. But anyway, he went riding and he didn't come back for probably 6 hours. And he had gone up in the hills, and he ran my horse the whole time because he didn't know how to control my horse. Arabians are very high-spirited, and my horse, his name was Bobby, and he loved to run. And if you weren't a good rider, it was very hard to make him stop. So the following day, I was really, really upset. I was really angry and upset because he'd taken my horse for so long, and I had just had a baby, and so my horse wasn't in shape. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because it's starting to get spring-like, and I'm starting to ride him a lot more out in the open. And horses are just like people. When I went to see my horse the next day, that poor thing looked like he wanted to just die. He had basically been forced to run with a 210-pound gorilla on his back for 6 hours, and he just could barely move. The lactic acid builds up in horses just like in humans, and it's like one of us go running a marathon after not training at all. Literally, because I had just had my baby, and so I hadn't ridden him for I rode him until I was 5 months pregnant, and then I stopped. But so what I'm doing right now is I'm getting Buck here in shape, and I'm doing it gradually and slowly, especially because of I'm taking into account his age. Also, he has and interesting enough, I was watching a documentary about horses, and horses that do not get ridden, wild horses, they don't get this condition, and it's called foundering, and it is sort of like an arthritis buildup type thing in the horses. It hurts their foot basically, and so Buck has that, and it can be genetic because all of his full brothers, Sonny, my Palomino, has it really bad already, and he's younger than Buck. But I massage him after every time we ride. Wait, stay right here, please. Stay here. Every time I ride him, I bring him home, and I soak his foot in one of those yellow tubs right there. And then I'll massage his leg, and for about a half an hour, I just sit with him and massage it. I also give him, although my boss, here, get off the reins, get off. My boss doesn't really like to do this. He's kind of like a vet, but we do give him some bute when, especially now that I'm starting to slowly run him again. So that was the point I really wanted to make, was that once again, we can compare horses right to people, and their bodies work on a very similar level, and you have to slowly and gradually get them into shape. You can't just, like when I was in the park the other day, I actually gave him the day off yesterday to rest, because I don't want him to get any worse, and I want to build him up slowly. So he's walking fine, and so I'm going to test him out once I get to the park. I won't be having anybody film me. He's saying hi, and he loves you. Yeah, you're such a good boy. Yes, you are. Yeah. See, he's actually waiting for me. He's going, "What are you doing, Mom? What is that thing in your hand?" And I know you're going to take me out running today, and I really don't feel like it. So hurry up and get that thing on me. He's listening to everything I can say, or everything I'm saying. You can see his ears are back, and horses have peripheral vision. That's so he can see me very well right now. And he knows I'm talking about him. His ears are perky, and he loves it when I scratch him when I'm down here, and he wants me to cuddle with him and stuff and play with his mouth and all that. He's hoping that I'm not going to ride him. I'm sorry, we got to go for a ride. So that was my little clip for the day, is take care of your horse. Take care of your horses. And if you see horses around you, if you have horses around you, go give them some attention, pet them over the fence. Don't feed them anything, because you don't know if the owners have them on grass or hay. But, and you would probably, if you wanted to give their horses an apple or carrots or something like that, please ask the owners, because there's a very high sugar content in the way that the horses break down. And what happens is, if, like with my horse, I have to be careful with the amount of sugar I give him, because what happens is it goes all the way down to their feet, and it holds into their feet. And that's another way horses can founder, is there's not enough blood flow, because there's nowhere that it can escape through the hoof. Stop. There's no way for the blood flow to escape if there's too much sugar in their diet. So we're off for a ride, and have a good day. Take care of the horses around you. Take care of your own horse. Give them some love, because they are so loving. And they love the attention. If they don't get enough attention, they will love you. He'll become your best friend. If you're a neighbor, adopt a horse just by being his buddy and spending time with him. You don't just have to ride them. They like the attention too, just like people. Okay, and we're signing off. Going for our ride. Bye. Let's see if I can turn this off. Still